Hello and welcome to Take a Beat. My name is Tirza and I'm the digital pastor here at IES. And Take a Beat is an IES podcast where we invite all of you to take a little break and have a chat with us, only to launch ourselves back on the beat. And so today I have wonderful people. I'm actually really excited for this one because I know everyone here. So we have three very special people, and I'll start over here. I actually just came back from a trip with her.
That's right.
So this is Jocy.
What is this?
My skin.
So Jocy, like what do you, I mean, people would ask this, but what do you do?
I am a teacher for little children, 5 and under, or 6 and under to be exact, because the school is an early childhood education specialist. So I'm a preschool teacher.
Ooh.
And I'm teaching this year. My student will be the 5-year-olds.
Fun. Okay.
Yes.
The best.
Tante Marianne,
Right?
what do you do? What do you do?
What do I do?
My partner in crime.
I'm sitting here now with you all.
This is Marianne Kunze.
Yes, I'm Marianne Kunze from Germany, mother of 5, grandmother of 3.
She's
What do
counting.
I do? Loving on people and hugging people. Yes, and I'm part of the IS Kids team.
So what class do you teach at IS Kids?
More than the 5 years old. 3 to 5. 3 to 5.
Okay.
Early, yes.
Hi.
Amos.
Okay. My name is Amos. I'm one of the
One of the
teachers. Not a pastor. One of the teachers in this beautiful place, IS Kids Church, especially in 0 to 2 years old.
Reverend Amos.
Reverend Amos.
Reverend
Amos.
You can take her as a reference.
Revenge.
The French.
All right. So how long because even before Kids Church and you currently volunteer at Kids Church, but how long have you worked with little kids?
Since
Forever.
I think, yeah.
Since
I
your
think
kids
I
were born.
started-
Oldest out of 6, so it's like, you know.
Uh,
For
I,
me,
go ahead.
it's around 13 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at least. Well, yeah, for being a preschool teacher before I am joining this part of the church.
Okay.
Okay, I started volunteering in Kids Church in '96, and then
Doing math.
I know 96. I started working with children. There was a call to volunteer in Kids Church and Sunday school at that time, and then I put my name in, and then I never looked back. I love working with kids since then.
And this is before
This was the church before IES. The church I was a part in before IES.
I love how whenever we talk about the pre-IES, it's always like the church before IES.
So church before IES, volunteering, and then IES, and then now the school. So that's the scope of my experience. No, life learning with children.
Also, like just a note, I've known Jocy for a while now. She hasn't changed. Even when I was in
God's grace, God's grace.
when I was a teen, like I look up to Jocy. I was like, the girl don't change. She
you,
still
Jesus.
looks like this.
Thank you, Mommy, for the jeans. Mommy's
So-
jeans are strong.
So I wanted to ask this, like, because you work with little kids. It's a different kind of interaction when you work with older kids, like 6 to all the way to like preteens, and then they go into teens.
Yes.
But with young children, first of all, how do you best communicate with them? What do you use? How? This is coming from someone who this is not my calling.
Well, you need to well versed in their world for sure. If you want to strike a conversation with 3, 4, 5-year-olds who can actually talk, right? 2-year-old can take over later. How to communicate.
Well, for the little one, the younger one, you have to first thing first, put your eyes in their eyes.
Okay.
So when
You'll have a bunch of people looking at little kids.
exactly. So if not, if you stand up and then just cannot see them like I'm the
It's
giant.
intimidating.
Exactly, that's right. So when I can communicate with their eyes the first time, I can get their heart the next.
I think that's
So
also
it's
true
important.
with the 3 to 5. You just have to do eye level because this is like, if you want to do a comparison, it's between us and talking to Shaq. So you go like that, and they're very intimidating, right? So that's why you have to go eye level so that you can gain their trust that way because then they can see you like this instead of like that. And then, like what I said, well, you need to well versed in there. If you want to strike a conversation with them, you need to know what they like. So you need to know, like, basically the trendy, the in thing that they're watching now. Like my students love the guys, like the boys like to play Izumi Mario. So you need to know that. You need to be able to talk about the boys about Mario, and then the girls love Rainbow Dash.
Okay.
And
I'm saying, okay, I have no
Yeah,
clue what
exactly.
these things are.
so you need to just
Well, I know Mario.
because the minute you mention a name of a character of their favorite shows, then their eyes would light up. They go like you get instant trust. Oh, I like this person because they like what we like.
I see.
Ibu Kunze?
We're going to
I
draw
think
you
I-
out and
That's
make
right.
sure
I
you
think
talk.
eye contact is for any age. Like I think that's kind of like, and I agree. It's kind of the communication. Like in particular for me, being a foreigner and being loud. I guess sometimes I would just like also study the body language from far, and you can see they would just like, don't talk to me, or like, and like, so I think that's, and then also like knowing what their interests are. I think that's for sure. And for me personally, often like I don't need to talk directly to them. So more like, yeah, I was wondering, I saw this, and kind of like being my own storyteller, and then like
You
and
have a
they
personal
kind of-
monologue.
kind of they jump in. It's like, yeah, miss, and and this, and my dad, my mom, and my brother has this, and so that's, and then can you kind of you come a little bit more in, I guess. So
That's actually a good point because you once you see children like that, they go like this. The one of the benefit of working with children is if you're not good with rejection, start join children's ministry because then
So if you want to be
you'll
versed-
learn. That's right. You learn from them, right? Like you cannot take when a kid doesn't want to come near you. You cannot take that personally.
And you can't force it either.
You cannot force
There
either.
are laws against
Like in
that.
my class,
Hello.
if you meet some kids, that 3 months, okay,
You mean maybe?
babies, still carrying by their neck.
Oh yeah, I love how Amos has the kids from
That's
like the
right.
little babies all
From
the
going
way-
like this.
all the way to starting to walk.
Yes.
Sometimes it's like a big challenge for me.
Hmm.
Even I'm a father, but it's been so long time that I'm carrying my babies. But
Yes.
to get their attention for the first time and
Right.
feeling comfort in my class, it's like, wow, even one of the kids in my class that I need more than 2 or 3 months to communicate, to close with
To
the-
build their trust.
yeah. So it's not easy at all, but if they come regularly every week, so I can make that kind of communications and getting close with them.
It's important to build trust with the children
Right.
and the parents because for us we're working with the younger ones.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But the whole thing about rejection, that reminded me. So once upon a time when a certain staff members baby girl was born, this baby wouldn't want anyone like to hold her, just Pastor Mike. The only one that she'll let hold her. Or if not, she'd cry bloody murder. She's a lot better now. She's she actually likes people now. Okay.
That's one.
No, but
Yeah.
but that's the thing. Like when any one of us tries to hold her, and she would cry, and so at some point you're like, oh, is this me? And then you realize she does that with everyone else. Like, it's not me.
No, don't take it personally.
So wait, I had a different question. Oh, okay. So you were talking about how like the importance of the relationship with parents. How are your relationship with parents of your students, parent of the kids at kids church? How do you connect with their parents about their very young children?
Well, a little bit hard actually because of again, if they come regularly every week, in some point I can come to them and then make some conversation. Actually, after the class, before the dismissal, we have playing time, so I can
Playing or praying?
playing.
Oh, okay.
Playing, sorry.
Both.
Playing time,
Both,
both of
both.
them. Yeah. Before playing, we close with praying. So,
Okay.
so many of the parents that I can talk with, I can make some good conversations, knowing that how these kids love the church, how they can recognize me as a teacher in their class, and well, but not so many of parents that accompany their kids.
Because your class, parents still accompany their, or an adult needs to accompany.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's not
mandatory.
all-
Actually, it's a mandatory.
Yes.
They have to accompanied by the adult. But
Is it also the same thing in
No,
3 to 5?
It's optional.
only in my
Oh,
class.
okay.
But
So parents,
yeah.
if you have 2 and under kids, please come to kids church and be with your children.
One adult.
One
one
adult.
adult for one kid.
Yeah.
At least get to know the teacher.
Yes.
Right. So, well, if I cannot communicate with the parents, so I can also communicate with the nannies. But of course, it's gonna be different if
Yeah, of
I
course.
can talk directly with the parents, so I can finding out how exactly their life
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the parents, how their parenting style, how they're taking care. So for me, it makes different if I talk with the parents. If I just talk with the nannies, I can grab so many information about their
Right.
family.
Or just the children.
Too much
Yeah.
information.
But
We don't want to get any nanny in trouble.
yeah, so it just information, but I can finding out so many things that how they like something from the church, the songs, the videos, the everything single things that I can finding out easily for me, but for the parents it's different.
Yeah.
Because we've talking about parenting style, we've talking about
Values.
values. Many of the parents that they just I don't know, they're just taking some, oh yeah, this is kind of like an event that okay, let's bring our kids to the church. Let's say they're enjoying their service. That's all. Yeah. It's always different for me.
For me, because I work in a school, it's kind of mandatory. Not kind of. It is for me personally. It's mandatory for me to build a relationship with the parents.
Yeah.
Because they put. This is how I see it. They put their precious cargo, someone who's really precious for them, in the hands of a stranger that they don't know anything about.
Yeah.
So usually, if I have a new kids in my class, and we have all the parents in my class have my number. So I would always tell them hi, maybe the day before or the day of. My name is Miss Jocy. I'm a teacher. I'm your son or your daughter's teacher in this class. And then I introduce myself. I tell them what we do, and then also if there's anything they think I should know about their child,
Yeah.
if there's any needs that I should attend to. And then on the first day, I make a habit of telling them in details after the day is done, telling them in details what we did in the class with that kid, especially if that kid comes crying in the morning. So again, you need to build trust with the kid, right?
Yeah.
You cannot really force them. You play with them, you watch with them, but then at the same time, you also have to find a balance of, we need to understand that there's separation anxiety, because this is like my parents, and I don't know who this is, and this is a new environment, a new building. Some kids are really comfortable with that and just walk and start playing. Some kids take a lot of time, and that's why we have this board with family pictures. So if they miss their mommy or daddy, they can just go there. I have one kid one time
Sweet.
from a different
So
country, does
sweet.
not speak English, does not speak Indonesian. She would just go to the wall with tears streaming down her face and like caressing the pictures of the mom. So I just take a picture of that and then send it to the mom. Oh yeah, I think today is getting well. But then when you, from what I found from what the parents told me, they really appreciate that first day message that I send them, because then they'll know what's going on in the classroom when they're not there. And then we also have all my parents also know open communication. They can text me anytime, even late at night. If I'm still awake, then I would just reply right away if it's urgent. So I think it's especially for the children our age, the 5 and under, it is extremely important for us to build that kind of relationship and that kind of trust with their parents.
So, one of the big things that I want to ask is, how do you talk to little kids about Jesus? Like young kids about Jesus? Because sometimes it's easy to talk to adults about different concepts about Christianity, and it's easier to maybe talk to the older kids about stories about Jesus and things like that. But how do you talk to little kids about Jesus?
Take it over, Marianne.
Yes,
She hasn't been talking.
Just like it's actually just this morning, because I guess I knew that I was coming here, and then I asked Usha on a call, and then she's like, and then I asked her, Usha, how did I talk about Jesus to you? Mom, please, you played games. Yeah, you made us jump from one bed to the other, New Testament, Old Testament. It's like, I did this. I could not even remember that. It's like, I did this.
Old Testament
long
and New
time
Testament.
It's just like, but then I think before this age, of course, for sure, a lot goes through songs. It's just like, this repetitive and rhythm, and because sensory, everything goes in, right? And certain habits, praying, and walking it out. Also, I think where am I in my walk with Jesus? I think that's also very important. And I just had a few, I have these wooden phones in my classroom, and so one of those Sundays with a lot of kids, and it was just like, one of the kids actually was saying, it's like, Teacher Marianne, that was not easy. Nobody was listening. And I said, yeah, what should I do? And then he said, why you don't call Jesus? So he came with my wooden phone, was this one. And then actually a few weeks later, lo and behold, he came with the phone to me, and he said, Jesus wants to talk to you. It's like, what did I say?
Being reprimanded.
She was like, I think talking about Jesus, I remember from my school times also when parents were asking, Miss Marianne, are you pushing the Bible down the throat of my child? The what? No, just like, and I this is very personal. So, but I think what we can do is talk a lot about Jesus, of course, and just walking it out, and our faith is, I think, very, very crucial.
So I know that there's a song that you teach your kids in your
Yes.
class. What is this song?
Yeah. Also,
She taught a lot of songs.
yes, it's like I have those repetitive songs, and I realized
What is one of?
I'm
the
singing to
songs?
myself.
Yeah.
God loves me no matter what. God loves me no matter what. God loves me no matter what. God loves me. And then sounds no matter. God loves me no matter what. Like when I see songs like some just like those the well-known tunes. Also put the so God loves me no matter what. God has a plan for me. I can laugh like Jesus. Yes, I can. I can. So there's just
I'm
like
connected with that.
a lot of songs, and
Yeah.
just like, and lately we started the fruit of the spirit, fruit, and suddenly parents come and the children don't remember the lesson, but they remember the fruit of the spirit because it was in a song or like in some kind of activity, right?
Once
So-
you teach it in a song, it's there
It's
forever
just,
and ever.
and my
Yep.
Caleb is 30, and he's
Wait, Caleb is 30.
my Caleb is 30, and he still knows Yana Alira, jump into the light, give your heart to Jesus. He can, the whole lyrics is still in
Yeah.
from when he was 3 years old.
Yeah.
So
Agree.
I
with
think
that.
that's very, and when you cannot sing, then I think in this time we have so many ways of getting the music in the house, so it shouldn't be a problem. So
Any other ways to talk?
Yeah, and the
walk, pray, song,
yeah.
games.
song is
Creation.
really for my classes. It's changing life because I got some in front of my eyes. The first time these kids singing and dancing in front of his mom. It just even I can see his mom is like, Amos, he's dancing. Oh my god. And it happens in a church. For me, it's just like, wow, it's a winning time. Because I think it's a year.
Yeah.
A year, yeah,
Takes
a
a
whole
while.
year. I never heard his voice. He never talked at all. Never following dancing.
Yep.
He just stood up, and then, yeah, that's all.
It's like talking to a
Statue.
teenager.
Exactly. So
Mini version.
Mini version.
it was happened, I think like 2 months ago. 2 months ago, and then it's just like, oh my goodness. Now he talked. He played a lot with me. He can even this is I think this is the best testimony that I ever heard in here. His mom talked to me that Teacher Amos, now every Saturday night he's always asking, Mom, tomorrow we go to the church, right? My church. He said
My
directly,
church.
my church. I'm going to meet Teacher Amos, right? I'm going to sing this song again. From my eyes to my ears to my mouth and nose.
Keep singing.
Keep saying that sing
More
that
than anything.
He loves me more than anything, much
Much more than anything.
That's
Yeah. See,
that kind
another
of song. It's
Yeah.
always changing for me. It's changing lives, even for the kids.
So these are the things that are happening in kids' church. But how can, if a parent has a young kid, what do you suggest parents do to talk to their kids about Jesus? Because they can't be like, okay, let's open the Bible to 2 Corinthians 11 and be
Right.
soaked. Because that,
Yeah.
Then they can start with simple Bible stories. I mean, show them that it comes from the Bible so the children know these are not just stories like the other storybooks that they're reading them.
yeah.
So like the Bible, oh, this is from the Bible. They maybe if you want to show them if they're old enough, they can see it's from this Bible. This is the Bible. This is the Word of God, not just any other book. And then if you want them to see pictures, then get another book with the pictures, but the story is the same. And then just start a conversation. Maybe what do you like about this story? What do you think? is good or bad about this story. And because like the children when they really their imagination is so really amazing, right? Like the story like Daniel and the lions den, that's what comes to mind. For them it's probably, oh, they're in a den of lions, den of lions, but then he didn't get eaten, and then you can have a discussion about how God is protecting you and all that. So I think that would be the simplest way for parents to introduce the Bible, by using famous Bible stories that excite them. Don't start with Numbers or Leviticus. No. I think
Or Revelation.
Yes, story of creation would be great. All the miracles would be great, so that it will excite them. It will get them into the habit of, but the Bible has a lot of exciting stuff in them that makes them want to read more.
And you brought this up, and we've had several conversations about this, but what is the role of kids' imagination in their knowing the world, knowing God?
I think in some case they have the capability to trust God even more than the adults
I
because
was
of their
just going to say
imagination.
that actually, because that happens often. Like when I have
Yeah.
parents in class, that they will actually after our time together, they will say like, Teacher Marianne, you told the story, and my child right away said, "See, Dad, you have an hour here. This is what you got to do." And then Dad or Mom was just like, "Oh." So that I agree with
Just
that
like-
often. That's why I'm still in this 3 to 5 year old,
right.
because I'm repeating. My growth, my growth still needs,
Yeah.
deeper. Because I think it's also often that parents might think, well, that's also from school. I want my children to know Jesus, so I bring them to church, and someone else tells them. Not necessarily because they don't know, maybe a little bit, but also because they feel uncomfortable.
Or maybe they don't know how to
And
start, like what
they
Tirza was
don't know how
asking.
to. But I think it's also, I always say to parents, God has, when He gives you your child, He has equipped you too. So I'm trying to encourage them.
Yeah.
I mean, even the
But
Bible says you have
just-
to come to Jesus with childlike faith, right?
Yeah.
So that should say a lot about how we should, because they just come with their entire, like when they love Jesus and they believe in what Jesus can do, then like, yeah, like what you said, look, there's a book, we just pray, we'll get healed. You know, it's like it's as simple and it's
Yeah.
easy for them to trust Jesus and what Jesus can do. So this is, I think, the time for you to actually teach them about Jesus. And I think what can be a good reminder for all of us also is monkey see, monkey do. So if you tell the children to read the Bible and you don't read the Bible, they see it.
That's right.
If you tell them to pray and you don't pray, they see it too. So the children tend to do what they see instead of what they're being told of.
Yeah.
So like model the behavior, like read the Bible together. Like I said, if it's too hard for them, don't like show them that that's an actual Bible. But then you can start with the children's Bible with them, so they can read the story. They ask you to read the stories
Yeah.
from the Bible that would excite them.
And I like what you said, that sometimes it's easier actually for little children to grasp the things of God than it
Yeah.
is for us adults.
Yes.
Because when we hear things like miracles or Jesus like raised a dead man. And for us, it's like, oh, how can that be? How can it be possible?
Yeah.
But for them, it's like, oh, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That's right.
And so, I think like what you said, I think that's what I'm getting as well, is sometimes like we just need to go with childlike faith. Maybe
Right.
talking to the younger kids about Jesus will help us in our faith.
And I'm also trying, because like sometimes I think that's what I detected sometimes with the children. So somehow they have heard, so when they have Jesus, my life is perfect and everything, I will be saved, I will be healed. So also kind of communicate I mean, Jesus, no matter what, he will be still there.
Yeah.
Right? But it might be not everything. Like, so we had actually the last 2 months was like that we can have joy all the time.
All the time.
All the time. And I tried then kind of like, that's why not even necessarily having the Bible story, but the application also. You know, if you're in school and your friends are mean to you and bully you or take your toys away, like your joy goes out of the window, right? So, and then kind of we were just like also almost like, and then so of course I acted a little bit more dramatic. And what happens then? I mean, like, well, Teacher Marianne, I would be sad. Or like, also I think that's also honesty for us as an adult. I think sometimes this vulnerability, just like, I don't have all the answers either.
Yeah.
And I think that's also okay to mention that to the children.
Yeah.
Like one of the kids asked me, like, lost sheep. I want to know, where was the lost sheep? And I was just like,
Let's Google it.
I thought, maybe it was just like, oh, the grass is so yummy over there, and kept eating, and suddenly that sheep looked up and, where are the others? Like, lost! Like you in the mall and like, oh, Lego, and I don't know what, but yeah, those kind of things. So it's just like where I feel really blessed and grateful to learn from the little people.
I think that raised up also an important point. A lot of children, if not all, would think that adults, teachers, parents, they don't do anything wrong. They don't make any mistakes. They know everything.
Yeah.
And it's important for us to show them that we don't know anything. We don't know everything.
We don't know everything.
That's a different one. A little bit different. We know some things. That we don't know everything, that we make mistakes, and sometimes we fail as well. So
Absolutely.
that, again, vulnerability, so that they can see, oh yeah, and it's okay for you to make mistakes. But there are children who gets really terrified when they make mistakes, and I'm like, it's okay, like it's okay to make mistakes. What's important is what you do afterwards. So like with the students at school, I say the same thing. When they make a mistake, I have some kids who are like, I'm like, it's okay. I also make mistakes. It's fine. And then if they ask me some things, not the lost sheep. They ask me something like, because we have lots of dinosaur toys at school, and it's like, Miss Jocy, what type of dinosaur is this? And if it's not the familiar ones that I know, I would always say, let's Google it together. So that's kind of like our favorite activity. If they ask me something that I don't know, let's Google it. And then now I don't even have to say it. They go, Miss Jocy, what is this? I want to Google it. Okay, let's Google it. So we go to the computer and we do it. And so it's because then they know that it's perfectly okay for them to be human, because the adults around them are also human.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect.
And you don't have to put up this facade that
That's
you
right.
are
All
perfect.
Yeah. And if you don't know the answer, you can just say, oh, I don't know the answer to that one. Let's find out. Let's
Google it.
Yeah, it'll be a good activity to
to
do with your children, to like find out answers to things.
So it seems like from what we're talking about, it's not just the stories of the Bible and not just about Jesus, but it's also communicating values that are godly,
Yeah.
Yes.
which later on, as they grow older, they will realize that, that is from the Bible, and that is, the characteristics of God, but it's things that have been modeled, talked about, sung about to them, and also the grace that is given to them, being able to make mistakes and things like that.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
let me ask you this, and this might be our last question, but for each of you, what is maybe one thing that has brought you joy in working with little kids lately? And it could be a little story, it could be one specific little kid. I don't prepare them for the questions. I just really
This is so much. I think there would be for me not a specific.
Just choose one.
If I ask, and in my classroom, what is the sweetest name on earth when all my kids shout, Jesus! That makes me happy. I mean, that's really just my heart. Yeah.
A little bit hard. Because in my class, I have to make sure that I'm communicate well with them. But I love have a chit chat with these kids because of once I told her, you know what? Teacher Amos loves to drink milk like you.
You do?
Yes, but I drink a goat milk. Susu kambing. So every Sunday, when she met me in the Sunday school, in the church, she's always asking me, "Are you drinking goat milk?" Until now.
You do?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, you do drink goat milk?
Yeah, I did. I do.
We can talk about milk at different
It's good.
days.
It's good.
I gotta go.
Okay, you eat goat cheese. It's fine. It's the same.
No,
That's the funny things.
But this little girl is also
Yeah.
the little girl who will only use her bathroom, which is kids' church bathroom.
Right.
She wouldn't go upstairs when her parents are
my
like,
bathroom.
"Oh, I'll just go here," and she's like, "No, my bathroom is downstairs."
It's so cute. I think for me, it's just being in their presence. I was miserable during COVID because we have to do it online, and I cannot maybe selfishly absorb their energy. Just being around them is I don't know, right? Like you can relate. I'm sure you can also relate.
It's recharging.
Exactly, there you
It's
go. You
recharging.
recharge your battery just being around them. People are like, oh, maybe they're noisy and all that, but
No.
they're cute. And
They're amazing.
I think what would bring me joy is being a school teacher. One thing that is very rewarding for me and makes me feel like I'm doing a good job is when my student would call me in the middle of the holiday. So, or the mom would say, "Miss, I'm so sorry, but my son or my daughter wants to talk to you. Is it okay if we call?" So, for me, that shows, because I believe in not just teaching them school stuff, but also in building a relationship with them.
Yeah.
So, I think I have succeeded in my goal to build relationship with them if they want to communicate with their teacher
Outside
during the
house.
holiday.
Yeah.
I love that moment during my school time. I
Right?
love that
Yeah.
moment because it's wow.
That's your reward.
Yeah.
So, well, it's like, yeah, Jocy really loves her kids because even when we were out on the beach, like I'm just helping her collect sand dollars for her classroom.
That's right. I have a new currency in my classroom this year. $10.
Oh.
$10. Let's Google it together later.
No, actually, I googled like how is sand dollars formed because they're so pretty.
Yeah, it's just round and with like a little flower. Okay, you need to put the $10 picture
Yes,
on
yes.
top of here.
Yeah.
It's really cute, so people know what we're talking about.
Yes. So I was on the beach trying to find sand dollars for Jocy's kids. But anyways, I think that we were kind of out of time. But thank you so much, Amos.
Thank you.
Santa Mariana.
Thank you.
Jocy, for being here.
Love
Just-
talking about our kids.
That's right.
I figured that's the topic to get you here for.
Yeah.
And you.
Right.
And you.
Right.
And I think I just love that idea that we can communicate to kids about Jesus, but
Yeah.
also let them teach us about how to have faith
Yeah.
in the Lord. And I think that's great. Thank you so much for spending
Thank you.
time and chatting with me, chatting with us. And thank you so much for spending time with us. Don't miss a beat. We will see you next week on Take a Beat.